So all the lost things comes from a feeling of loss and of grief. And as I've got older, I've been struck by the idea that when you lose someone or something, it could equally be when you lose a piece of jewellery or something that's a sentimental item, that actually rather than feeling emotionally that there's an absence or there's it's a negative space, I feel that actually these lost things have a weight and a mass, and I feel that you carry around this feeling of this lost thing with you forever. And what happens is, depending on how you go about your daily life, and maybe it's a piece of music or you see a photograph, then of course that memory comes back into focus. But also over time, these people and these things, as they morph into memory, they become softened and they become less clear. So it was to do with capturing this idea of feeling that a loss was actually a presence that I wanted to visualise. And then equally, about 5 years ago, my father-in-law was diagnosed with dementia and Alzheimer's. And so alongside this feeling of the loss, I was struck by how his memory deteriorated, how, again, memories became softer and they became elusive and they became slippery in terms of they weren't tangible times and events anymore. They were much more floating around, and he may talk about something that happened last week in the context of what was happening next year. So that's really the two threads that gave me the inspiration for doing the Lost Things. In terms of why I've chosen the format, I did do a painting a few years ago called The Lost Things, which has now found the perfect owner up in Ascot. And so it was an idea that I've had for a while, but I ended up coming up with these drawings for a number of reasons. The first thing is I wanted to do something small and intimate that felt like you could carry it inside and with you. And actually the size of these drawings is based roughly on the size of an adult human heart. So that's, to me, is the idea of the space that they take up. And the reason I wanted to do them in pencil was that I wanted to do something very humble that everyone could identify with. I didn't want to create something that was technically so clever that people would get bogged down in, oh, but how has she done it? And that's a really clever technique and I don't know how to do that. These are very simple pencil drawings and I wanted them to have the widest appeal possible.